And even as a consumer, I don't get it. These self-service kiosks are asking us to do their job functions for free. And we just discussed how bad many of these people are at their own jobs. And now you think they're going to come in to some other person's job while not at work and do that person's job well? Are you crazy? Like, while you're swiping your own groceries, you could literally look over your shoulder, and 10 feet away is a paid employee doing the exact same job function, but for a wage. And they're not even offering us a discount to be doing this. And then I wonder why that utilizing the self-service checkout technology has a loss rate of more than twice the industry average. In dollars, it was over $110 billion in loss last year. And I was recently at a sit-down restaurant, and after they dropped the check, I tried to pay the waiter directly, and he had rejected my attempt and told me I needed to get up and go walk over to the self-service kiosk and complete my payment myself over there. Now, I've always taught my staff that rapid payment processing was one of the keys in generating high tip percentages. And this leads to higher guest satisfaction, which brings them back. And an otherwise perfect service experience can be ruined if you leave the guest sitting around and wondering if you're going to process a payment. But now, what do you think having to get up and fight with a machine and leaving the company and my guest is going to do to that tip percentage? And what wait staff is now going to want to continue to work somewhere that's killing their take-home income? Not to mention, what stops people from just walking over to the kiosk, pretending like they're doing something, and then just walking out? It's kind of like when you walk up to the self-service stations at the grocery store, and there's already an existing charge on that screen, right? You've seen this? So obviously, the person right before you, whether out of ignorance or out of intent to steal, scanned their items and left without completing payment processing. And let me give you one more example I think that we could all probably relate with. When I was younger, you'd call a customer service company and you'd fairly quickly get a native English speaker. And these people, had knowledge of the product or the service that you were calling in about. And if they couldn't help you, they would then get you to a person who could. And it was a pretty painless process. Maybe there would be a slight wait, and I remember at this time thinking, like, if the call volume was high and I had to wait for just like a mere 5 minutes, then that company should solve the problem in which was causing that flux in customer service issues. Or they should hire more agents. But then instead, they did the opposite. And in order to increase their profits, they fired those agents. And they moved everything overseas. And now we're still waiting, but now it's gone from 5 minutes max to 5 minutes minimum. And when I finally do get someone, it's an agent with a limited ability to speak or understand our language. And they're strictly adhering to a script. And there's no solutions. And there's no transfers to a department that's knowledgeable. It's just a bunch of circular nonsense now that only breeds bad feelings for that business. And now if that wasn't bad enough, now all the big brains of those executives, they're now subbing all that work out to even a cheaper labor force. AI machines. And I have to tell you what, if I'm calling a company with a simple question or an issue, after I'm done talking to that robot for 5 minutes, who's having to repeat myself over and over because it can't understand, and then when I ask for an operator or a representative, I met with, "Sure, but let me ask you a few more questions to get you to the right person." Are you kidding me? You can't understand the answers I was giving you for the first few questions. I'm consistently repeating and rephrasing what I'm saying, and this is exactly why I want a human representative. But now I have to talk and answer this computer even more. And what happened to just be able to press 1 for accounting, press 2 for technical issues, press 3 for billing. That worked fine. What doesn't work is this AI customer service. And honestly, like, what an oxymoron. What possibly could be more impersonal? And now when I finally do get to a person, I'm no longer in the good mood I called in on. Now I'm kind of pissed that I've had to repeat myself 15 times. And I've asked customer service reps about this when I've called in, and they tell me over and over again that since these companies that they work for have introduced these AI customer service, the people calling in, by the time they get to the human, are noticeably more irritated and upset than they were before. And doesn't this seem to be exactly opposite of the problem or the purpose?